The Gavril Dynamo is a brand new BeamNG mod which brings an early 60s American Luxury Coupe to the game. This mod by LJ74 has some pretty unique styling and we've never seen anything quite like it before. I'm going to show you all the features. So, the Dynamo from Gavril. This is an awesome looking car. I love the look of it, even in pink. Look, we've got these tail fins coming out the back. Look at these brake lights. I've never seen anything like that in BeamNG. And it's based on the third generation Ford Thunderbird. So the Dynamo was built between 1960 and 1962. We've got an early model on the right and a late model on the left, built in 1962. The styling did change quite a bit between the two, actually. That's interesting. The interior is similarly beautiful. We've got white leather all around and this metallic dashboard. We've got a lot of interactivity here. We've got map lights underneath the dashboard there. We can open the windows like so, and the quarter lights, there you go, on both sides over there as well. The doors do open and we've got light switch here and a secret button on the floor. I'm going to show you what that does a bit later. So let's pop the hood. Under this beautiful hood we have a 388 cubic inch V8 producing 237 bhp. And it's paired with a 3-speed automatic with a column stalk, so let's go. This thing is actually pretty fast, very drifty, very soft suspension, and off we go. To drive, it definitely feels like an old school American car. Great in a straight line, but round the corners, I don't know, it's very soft. That being said, it is still good to drive. Quite a bit of oversteer, very fun to try and catch the drifts. Oh, we're nearly going to have, oh, hubcaps have flown off. We've ripped someone's bumper off. Okay, so we're holding at 100 miles per hour. Here comes a big crash test. Slow motion. Whoa, crumpled up. Loads of bits fly off. That is really impressive. I like the crash model a lot. There are 26 configs, including race cars, convertibles, police cars, and more. Let's start by checking out the convertible. So this is the late model convertible, and how do we open the roof? Well, we have to click inside here, I think, on this little latch, and then it's actually mechanically operated. Trunk roof switch, we press that, and then the trunk opens and the roof should start folding back. It is very slow. This is like early 1960s tech, but it all folds very neatly into the trunk here, which has been covered in this strange fabric, but I quite like it. Okay, so realistically, it probably takes almost 20 seconds to go down, and now the trunk is going to fold down with these beautifully modeled arms. Look at that. Opening up to cover the roof with a little bit of metal there, and it's going to fold down. Oh, yes. And now we've got a beautiful 60s convertible. So the late model is no different. It has a very similar engine, just a slight styling tweaks. We've got a different steering wheel. Let's take our convertible onto the highway. Flooring it. Now the car is heavier. Whoa, and it's rear heavy as well because that massive boot mechanism for the roof, and it does compromise the handling. But as we accelerate past 100 miles per hour, you can see I'm kind of fighting the car a little bit. It does like to pull to the left slightly. I guess that's realistic. We are overheating at 105 miles per hour, but oh, look at the light on the dashboard there. Wow. Coolant overheating. I think we're done for. Let's go into a... Oh, there you go. And yeah, crashing into another vehicle, you can see this crash model is good. This mod is paid. It's on Coffee and Gumroad for $6 New Zealand dollars. That's about $4 US. But I am going to be running a giveaway straight after this video on my Discord server, so check the description and the pinned comment for that. Now, this is the options spec, and it basically means we've got some nice optional extras. Loads of buttons down here. I've got no idea what they do, but we do have a clock down here. That looks quite nice. And we do have a completely green interior, and the clock lights up. Look at that. Whoa, okay. Off we go, and let's see what it's like on this sort of mountain road. Is the handling any good? Well, brakes are... You know what? Brakes are good, and whoa, understeer. There's not that much understeer, surprisingly. You've got good tyres and good steering angle at the front, so I'm going to push it into here at like 50. Most cars would understeer there, but this one doesn't seem to. LJ74 is a very talented mod creator. They've given us things like the Signia and the, whoa, Hirochi Rush in the past, amongst others. Oh my goodness, off-road a little bit, but yeah, this is their latest and greatest creation. It was really hyped, this mod. Oh dear. So now it's night time. If I turn on the lights, you can see they're pretty pathetic. They don't really do much, but there's a button on the floor here, and if we click it, watch what happens. Yep, it puts the high beams on. So back in the day, instead of having your high beams mounted on a stalk next to the steering wheel, you'd have a little button on the floor to press it, and that would dip or put on the high beams. If you look down the bottom right, we don't just have the D for drive mode in the gearbox, we have something called T, and that is a traction gear which forces the transmission to use only second and third. It's sort of like an overdrive for mid-range acceleration and for cruising. Then I can go to L, which I think, oh, it's not L, it's 1, which sticks the gearbox into first gear only for acceleration. So this is the Burnout. It's a tuned version with a manual gearbox and a supercharger built to do things like this. Whoa, that is a big, Burnout right there. Okay, let's see if we can get it to do it in a straight line this time. Second gear. Still in, third gear's probably better to do the Burnout. Quite hard to control, but, I mean, does this thing even corner? We're about to find out. Okay, push it through here. No, it's really understeery compared to the other one. Oh, I mean, no wonder this thing produces 1,000 brake horsepower. It is incredibly quick, very hard to handle unless you're going in a straight line. If we take it onto the highway, let's see what speed we can get to. Right, fourth gear, and we're flooring it. Still getting wheel spin. Well, we've only got 5 gears, and we've capped out at 137. But look, what is that thing there? That spinny thing? Is that another intake? Oh! Wow, okay. Into the, saved by these water barrel things. There's also some interesting rusty config. This is the used version. As you can see, the paintwork is very rusty on this thing, but we've got these cargo boxes in the back because this mod does support career mode. This is the barn find. It's even more rusty. The tires are flat, really run down beater, and this is the street tuned. It's also quite rusty, but I guess someone's done up the engine, not the bodywork, and it is pretty quick. The barn find, how does it drive? Well, not very well. It's really wobbly. We need to pump up that tire pressure. The engine seems okay though. We're not getting much backfiring, anything like that, and it's not overheating. Wow, we are leaning massively. Suspension is completely knackered. Whoa, yeah. Fun to drive though. In the street tuned, we've got some fuzzy dice, which is pretty interesting, and some weird kind of like blinds, roller blinds on the rear window. Okay, I think this has a manual gearbox. Strange looking manual shifter there. How is it around the racetrack? Well, it's quite grippy. The car didn't come with an RPM gauge, so they fitted one up here. Right, coming up to the first corner at 90. We're getting a lot of, not good. No anti-lock brakes invented when this car released, of course. Here we go. 60, 70. We got about 310. Whoa, BHP, which is about 80, I think, more than the base model. So it's not a massive difference, but whoa, you know what? It's quite good to drift. I'm not sure the manual gearbox really suits this car. It obviously helps for racing, but I think this car, it's meant to be floaty, you know. I think automatic gearbox do fit the personality of the car a little bit better. Whoa. And I find it odd. American cars have yellow indicators at the front, but red ones at the back. Shouldn't they be yellow all the way round? This is the slick config. It's completely blacked out. We've got black everything, even tinted windows, and it also has air suspension. So what does this thing drive like? Well, the first thing you notice is how little body roll there is. The air suspension is actually keeping the car very flat and level. Does it help the handling though? Not sure. Whoa! Wow, the AI just crashed. I'm not sure it does help the handling, to be honest. I think it's easier to feel when the car is losing grip with the normal suspension, but it really rides so smooth. Can it take a jump? Let's have a look. Here we go. Big jump. Oil pan damage. I think it took that pretty well, but what a mean machine this thing is. All black, I love it. Of course, this mod does have Lowriders, and look at these liveries, they look really nice. So, what are the controls? At the top right, hop all, there we go. Increase ride height is just hold T, is it? There you go, we're going up all the way at the back. Now, what are these like curb scrapers? I forget what they're called, but we've also got a massive rear tire there with a floral pattern, and with Shift F and H, we can hop left and right like that. Can we get it to flip over? Probably not. Whoa, we're tearing up the boards of the pier here, but Lowriders, you gotta love them. Looks like a normal dynamo, but it's not. This thing is the Jetstream, and it has a gas turbine engine inside. It can run on jet fuel or pretty much anything that combusts. Now, this is based on the Chrysler Turbine Car. 55 of them were produced between 1963 and 1964. It was a failed attempt by Chrysler to reinvent the automobile, give cars a different engine than a standard petrol internal combustion engine. Under the hood, the engine has actually been modelled. You can see, I think that's the big tank for the fuel in there. Probably jet fuel in here. What does it sound like when we turn it on? It doesn't have a startup noise, but it's basically a jet engine under here, and it produces about 600 horsepower, but only about 150 of that goes to the wheel. So let's do a test drive of this experimental car. Whoa! Oh, that's a bad start. Let's try that again, and off we go. Now, we've got a different readout here. We've got thousands of RPM going up to 6,000, and I do like the look of that thing. So we've only got one gear, have we? No, I think we've got more than one gear, but that's full throttle, and as you can see, it's not as fast as the other model. That's one of the reasons why it didn't really catch on, this gas turbine engine, but apparently they were very easy to maintain. They didn't break down that much. They were quite good in terms of fuel economy, but the performance was never as good as petrol. There have been gas turbine engine mods for, I think, the Burnside before, but I think this really takes the biscuit. This is the best gas turbine car in the game by far. So much fun. Great to see LJ74 putting this in the mod. Luckily, someone had the idea of customizing the Jetstream, and this thing has race tires, race suspension, and about 1,000 horsepower from that gas turbine. I also love the little visual indicator that this is something pretty special. So we're going to go into drive, and off we go. Immediately feels so much faster. Well, there's 100, and we are still accelerating. Probably about 130 is the top speed of this thing, but we're going to push it really fast through this corner. The van is moving over, luckily. Brake a little bit, and then, oh yeah, solid as a rock. It handles really well. Oh yeah, here we come. I don't know if anyone's coming down the corner. Oh, I don't know where we are. Wow, somehow we made it round there. We're still going. Hit something. Oh, into palm trees, and we're wall riding, and what a wreck. But that was so much fun. Look at where the wheel ended up. This mod comes with 3 different police cars. We've got the Furwood police car, the Belasco City PD, and the Belasco City Jetstream police. This has the Jetstream engine, and I'm pretty interested to see how it is as a police car. Look at this steering wheel as well. That's like a spike coming out of the steering wheel there. I think if you hit that, that would hurt. Anyway, here we go. Oh, no. ETKK series is fleeing from us. That's not great. We're going to go into T mode, which, no, that's not helping. I mean, that is quite a fast car, to be fair, but this thing, that's full throttle, and we're barely moving. What is... Oh, no, he's crashed. Oh, God, it is so slow compared to the petrol-powered variants. Come on. I mean, we're basically stuck at 65. Even in T mode, we're barely accelerating. And, oh, I wasn't looking where I was going. Yep, not great, but really cool. It's now time for the race configs, and there's quite a few of them. We're starting with the drift config. We've got 1 seat inside, a roll cage, and 600 horsepower to play with. So, manual gearbox. Apparently this thing can drift really, really well. Well, I'll be the judge of that. Remember, I'm not that good at drifting, so any car I can drift is probably good. Wow. Yes, that... It's got very quick steering, really quick steering. Try and drift it in third person, and oh yes, you can regain control at crazy angles. Oh, almost. This is a good corner right here. If we add a bit of power on the limit, wow, we're right at the edge of the track. Still drifting on the dirt. Amazingly, there's a rally car config, and it doesn't have all those lights at the front like most rally cars do, but how does this thing handle the off-road circuit? Well, handling-wise, it's pretty good. The tyres are definitely doing a lot of work here. The engine isn't powerful, like, in a massive way, which is good. We're not spitting out all the time. How to handle the jumps? Well, whoa, yep, oil pan is okay. Seems to handle the jumps pretty well, so it's been strengthened somehow. Here we go, big jump there. No damage whatsoever. Brilliant. We have a stock car here on the left and the track car. Now, I really, really like these retro liveries here. Roger Kennedy Gavril. Is that the founder of Gavril? Anyway, this thing is obviously a NASCAR, and on the right, we've got a more generic sort of track car. But let's try the stock car first and see how it handles. So, wow, not much grunt low down. This doesn't have that powerful engine, about 400 horsepower compared to 600 in the track car. This thing should be good in a straight line and terrible around a corner. So let's go right, see what it's like. Locked up the brakes slightly. Quite understeery, yeah, quite understeery. Yeah, it could be more powerful, but it's still got quite a high revving V8 up to 6,500 RPM. that is necessary to get the max speed out of this thing. We've got 4 gears. We've got 4 gears. Wow. Whoa. Big crash. Oh, my goodness. The genius of this config comes through its gearing. I mean, it's got very long gears. We're turning up into 4th now at 160, and we're still accelerating. Oh, rolled it. Wow. Brakes are going to do nothing. We're not even touching the ground. Caught by a lamppost. But yeah, that is a fast car. In comparison, the track variant is made for cornering. So, let's see what it's like. White or soft suspension there. And oh boy, this is a lot faster. Right, let's brake. Don't want to lock up. The brakes are not locking up. Whoa! That's insanely grippy. You can sort of drift it as well. Oh, it just about regained control there. But yeah, you feel confident to push this into a corner at pretty much any speed. I mean, I'm accelerating for... No. Okay, I'm wrong. But believe me, it is grippy. And I love the paint jobs. There's so many livery options with this car. You could customize this thing for ages. Oh, losing control on the last stretch here and into the wall. Whoa. Yeah. Roll cage again doing its work, but I lost control at high speed there. Wow. And here are the drag configs. This is the street drag. I guess it's a street legal drag racer technically, and this is a purpose-built, more like race spec drag racer. So let's take these things, well, let's just race them against each other. I would be very surprised if we didn't win this drag race, but it's still cool to see them in action. So we're going to put the handbrake on, rev her up, and we are in realistic mode. Here we go. We need to make sure we're nice and straight. And off we go. Whoa, very grippy, and we're off. 60, 70, 80, 90. We are accelerating so fast here. Supercharger doing its magic. Left him in the dust, and we passed it in 9.7 seconds at 100, well, let's say 150 miles per hour. We're going to keep accelerating off the end. This is the classic thing to do here. Here we go. Oh, hit the ramp. Can we make it over the road? That is the ultimate test for a drag racer. Well, we're over the racetrack. You know what? That's not as far as a lot of other vehicles. Somehow we've made a Jaguar XJ. I don't know, for some reason that reminded me of a Jaguar XJ back in the day. Anyway, that was cool. So the Gavril Dynamo by LJ74. I really recommend this mod. It is paid, but you get so much value for money with this. 26 configs and a very unique 1960s American coupe. Of course, I will be running that giveaway for the next few days after this video comes out. Check the pinned comment and the description for details, and I wish you the best of luck. You'll receive your prize via Gumroad. If you'd like to see LJ74's other BeamNG mods, click the videos on screen right now. On the left, you've got the Hirochi Rush, that's a Japanese ute, and on the right, the Ibishu Signia, which is a Japanese coupe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon for some more simulator adventures.